Plabita Borthakur. I'm very excited to be here today and share with you all a little bit about me and my life, my journey so far. I feel when we attend talks like these, we really look forward to knowing the early life struggles of the speaker and understanding how they dealt with those. So I'm very sorry to disappoint you all. I have had quite a privileged childhood. And no, I was not a rich kid. I just had really supportive parents and loving parents who made me feel very secure. Add to that, 2 elder sisters to be pampered by. To be honest, I had no real aim in life growing up. All my peers seemed to know exactly what they wanted to do with their lives, but not me. So when I was in the 3rd year of my degree college and I realized that I really need to figure out what I want to do with my life after this, I either wanted to act, sing or dance. And honestly, no one would give me any other job because with no other talent to offer, with no other skills to offer, because all my life throughout school and college, I was completely involved in the performing arts and I barely spent any time studying or sitting in lectures. Thankfully, because of my parents, I could consider my interests as career options, unlike a lot of my friends who were asked to just consider them as hobbies by their families. So yeah, then I joined the Barry John Acting Studio for a diploma course and started giving auditions for ads and feature films because I thought, let me try my luck at acting. And I was very surprised that it worked out well. I mean, it started off well. So I started getting numerous ad films. Like I would bag one ad film or two every now and then, and eventually I went on to shoot for around 20-25 ad films. Back then, I had no clue what exactly I was doing with my life. I really enjoyed shooting, so I was happy to audition and get as many shoots in my kitty as possible. But I still wasn't sure if I had any passion, if I had an ambition. I also got selected to play a small part in Mr. Rajkumar Hirani's film PK back then. And after that, I was called in to audition for my film Lipstick Under My Burqa. I found the synopsis quite interesting. And I had 3 scenes to do and I prepared really well for it. And then once I read the script, I was in love with it and I really hoped that I would get the part, and I did. And then, as I started doing these workshops, I discovered a different side to myself, a new side to myself, a sincere, hard-working person. My parents were surprised because they had never seen me work hard, not even for my board exams. And then as I started acting in different films and as I actually started understanding the process of being an actor, I realized I had developed a passion for acting. I was in love with it. So the kid with no ambition finally found a passion. So after my film released, I was really happy to have offers of different scripts to choose from. It feels really great to read different scripts and different characters and stories and imagine myself in them and then decide for myself which ones interest me and which ones don't. But then I had to remind myself to not get too excited because it's only raining scripts, it's not raining jobs. I still had to audition for them and wait to know whether I made it or not. The drill remains the same, it's just that I get to read some of the scripts beforehand. You know, as an actor, what I really enjoy is that after Lipstick and after my other films, as I started working, as my career graph started looking better, my learning curve just moved steeply upwards. It's so nice to work on different sets. And each time is like a first time because every director has such different ways of filmmaking. And with every film set, I feel really great to be a little more experienced than what I was a film or two ago. It actually gave me the confidence to shoot a music video for my dad. Never in my life had I imagined that I would shoot something myself. But with the help and suggestions from some of my friends from the industry, I actually managed to shoot something on my phone to put together as a music video for a song my dad has sung. So yeah, everything sounds hunky-dory, right? Well, I wish, but as usual, all good things do come with some hardships. Being an actor, I need to constantly work hard to maintain myself. There are days when I just don't want to get out of bed and go to the gym, or I just want to eat whatever I feel like. But I have to push myself. I must remain disciplined because I need to keep myself fit every way possible, even when I'm not shooting, because I need to be ready for any character, to play any character whenever required. As an actor, we don't have a monthly, we don't have a steady salary that hits our bank accounts every month. So I need to be on my toes at all times. There will be sick days, there will be sad days when I will still have to get up, look presentable, go out there, give auditions and perform. I recently went through a very difficult time where I was struggling a lot with a few things in my personal life. And I was really low and really lost. And those days, I was regularly shooting almost every other day for a show. And there was one major low period when I used to often cry on my way to shoot, hoping my driver and my assistant wouldn't notice. And I often had to struggle to not tear up on set. My super sweet and caring assistant would just hand me tissues without saying a word. And of course, when I'm in the middle of the scene, I forget about it all. But it's the times in between when I actually need to maintain energy to be able to perform when my scene starts. So these are difficult times which, as an actor, we have no choice but to deal with. Thankfully, my therapy sessions really help me to cope with it all. Also, another thing I wanted to say is, when an actor goes to Mumbai to make it big, they are called strugglers. Many people know about this, but what a lot of people don't know about is that the struggler never gets out of the struggling phase. There is always an interim period in between, a phase when there's no work. And in that phase, you are back at the same drill. You have to get up, go for auditions, try your best to get the best of best projects. Since the theme of today's event is the silent letter, I thought I would share with you all a few silent things that I do regularly to keep me going. तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो? If you think that's what I do, you're wrong. This is what I do. तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो? So I realized most of the silent things that I do for myself are actually quite loud. So whenever I want to de-stress, I use whenever I drive alone, I use the time as me time, and I roll up all the windows, make it a jukebox, turn up the music, full blast, and scream and sing exactly like how I did just now. And I also dance sometimes at home, throwing my limbs here and there. You're not getting a demo of that. That also really helps me de-stress. I think a huge factor that keeps me sane is the loud presence of my people in my life, my friends and my family. I don't know what I would do without them. So I make sure to always be available for them, and I also make an effort towards my personal relationships. And there is one more thing I do is every night before I sleep, I make sure to take some time to wind down. Even when I'm in the middle of super hectic schedules, I take out at least half an hour to do anything, like to read a book, to watch something, to play a game. But I think that really helps me. And honestly, I take that half an hour for myself, even if it means cutting down on my sleep time, because it makes a difference. After my films released, I started getting a lot of attention from people around. At first, I found it very uncomfortable. I went through my anxiety issues because of it, but that's for some other time. But eventually, I got used to it. And on set, I'm very pampered because my assistant always makes sure to have right in my hand anything I need before I can even ask for it. He always carries all of my bags, even when I fight with him to let me carry at least a few. And the actors are always taken good care of. So I make sure that that never gets to me. So I try to do most of the work myself and be independent. And whenever I'm not shooting, I run errands of all kinds all the time. I help with the household work, and I help out my domestic help, etc., etc. And just because I have a car doesn't mean that I don't go on my rickshaw rides plugging in my earphones, or take the metro, or even the local trains, sometimes only in non-peak hours. And so I feel as an artist, it's very important to be grounded and to experience the world around us. So, which is why I always try to maintain relationships with my everyday people, like my building guard, my tailor, the woman who picks up the garbage, the milk vendor, etc., etc. You know, these small talks with them, they really uplift my mood. And today, I'm so happy to be here in Guwahati because, you know, once when I was in school in the 9th standard, I was traveling by flight from Delhi to Mumbai, and I casually started chatting with my co-passenger. And she asked me, "So where are you from?" And I said, "Oh, I'm from Assam." And she looked surprised. So I was expecting something like, "Oh, I've heard it's beautiful." But she asked me, "So do you need a passport to come to India?" So. But today, I feel so proud that so many people from the Northeast are doing so well all over the country. And you know, there are so many people from the Northeast in the film industry. Nowadays, when I say I'm from Assam, people get excited, and they either tell me that, "Oh, you know, I have so many friends from Assam or from the Northeast," or they ask me, "Where all should I travel when I go for my trip to the Northeast?" Or in fact, some of them even tell me stories of their trips of when they were here. So yeah, that is really, really great. You know, I feel when we are very focused towards our goals and our future, we often forget to live the little moments in the present. And that's why I always like to remind myself that the journey is equally significant. The achievements can feel fulfilling only when we have memories of these little things that we go through every day. So I feel that these are the silent letters that I make sure to silently indulge in my life. Thank you.